Hey guys, what is up? It is ZGamerMax here, and today we're going to be going over the top players to make per archetype. Yes, we'll be going over the best build for each individual archetype. So guys, make sure to stay tuned, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get to the video. The first thing you want to do with your playmaker is make him 6'7". Yes, 6'7", the tallest you can make a playmaker. You can see when you make him this height, your shooting does go down a little bit, but your standing dunk, your driving dunk, your contact dunk, your box out, and your rebounding as well as your block insanely increase. While other certain stats that you're not going to think too much about because you're still a point guard and you're still extremely agile, your speed, acceleration, vertical, steal, lateral quickness, passing accuracy, speed with ball, and ball control do go down, but it's not significant. Trust me, this build is nothing to joke about. This is the actual build that I use for my 95 overall 6'7" playmaker. Next thing you want to do is max that wingspan out. You want to make it to where it has the 87.5 wingspan right there. It's going to be 87.5. You'll get insanely crazy animations. And while it does say these stats kind of lower a little bit, it really doesn't affect you because my open shot mid and contested shot mid is a 78. So really you can get greens with 78s with the hot spots out on the floor, but we'll get into that into another video. But yeah, you get insanely crazy animations with that insanely large wingspan. You'll grab insanely, and I keep saying the word insanely because this build is insane, an insanely large amount of rebounds and get an insanely large amount of blocks and steals as well. Now, unless you're a big man at NBA2K17, you're not going to need strength that much. My actual playmaker, who's a 95 overall, who's insanely good, and I keep using the word insanely because this build is insane. This is my favorite build of NBA2K17, has a 27 strength. 27 strength. Now, hear me out. He gets a great amount. I'm trying not to say the word insanely that much, but he gets a great amount of crazy and weird, finishes at the basket because he has the acrobat badge and the relentless finisher badge, which again I'll explain how to get in a later video. But what you want to do is you want to make that weight a lowest it can be, but I really chose 180. I chose 180. You can make 179 if you just like odd numbers, but I chose 180. So next we have the most unimportant part about your build, but it also has a really good significance to your build, is your shoulder width. You want to max that out to the most it can be, which is a 23.1, which is going to make your guy a little more bulky and kind of make up a little bit for that 27 strength you're end up getting if you do not upgrade your strength at all like me. It'll really help more on your box outs and getting rebounds in NBA 2K17 as well as your dunks actually. It actually makes you a bigger body so they cannot block you really immediately. Next build we have is a sharpshooter. Everybody knows of the 6'2" speed boosting sharpshooter, who I completely despise of in NBA 2K17 because they're so freaking broken. They're so broken. They can go by you, they can drive on you, even though they have really bad layup stats in every stat besides shooting, but that's not the point. They're bad and they're really not good for the game, but if you want to cheese, this is the perfect player for you. What you want to do is you want to make your player 6'2". It increases your standing dunk, driving dunk, and contact dunk, as well as some of your rebounding stats and your block, which will kind of allow you to be able to finish a lot better at the rim, which is the speed boosting part of the build. It's just completely nasty, this build, but you want to make him 6'2", and you want that wingspan to be as short as possible because that will increase your shooting stats a little bit more than it really is right now. Similar to the playmaker, you want to lower his weight to the lowest you can make it, which is 165 pounds, which will increase his speed, acceleration, vertical, speed with ball, and lateral quickness, which are very important parts of the speed boosting aspect of this sharpshooter build. And finally, yes, you want to max out that shoulder width, which is just going to help you out in the game. I don't really need to explain it anymore, so yeah. So the next build I'm going to be talking about is the shooting guard shot creator. So the shooting guard shot creator is one I commonly see a lot in NBA 2K17, and they're pretty OP to be honest. They also come with some of the best badges combinations in NBA 2K17. They come with difficult shots, teardropper, tireless scorer, ankle breaker, and mid-range data, which is extremely OP. These are extremely overpowered badges in one archetype that can do almost every single thing in the game. What you want to do is make his height 6'6", so he has a better driving dunk and standing dunk and contact dunk, and he's a lot better down at the rim because shot creator is supposed to be the most versatile archetype in the game. So you're really going to need to do a lot more than just be able to shoot off the dribble. Wingspan, now you're obviously going to make that the shortest as possible because you want to have to be a lot more better of a shooter. You want to be a better of a shooter. Shot creators are one of the best shooters in the game, and you want to be able to shoot the ball. You don't want to just be able to have to drive or take these crazy weird animations. No, you want to be able to shoot off the dribble because that's what you're best at. Now, once again, with the weight, I'm going with the lowest weight possible. For a lot of the guard positions, you want to go for the lowest weight possible. So point guard and shooting guard positions, you want to go for the lowest weight possible because you're going to be a lot faster. You're going to be a lot more versatile with your player because you don't see a lot of guards running with, max weight because they're just slow and they just can't move around the court like a lot of guards who have the lowest amount of weight possible. So yeah, you want to make that weight 180 pounds. Now these two next builds are 100% based on preference because you can either have a shooting guard slasher or a lockdown defender, or you can have a small forward slasher / lockdown defender. They're both two different types of archetypes because they're both either slow or they both can become really, really fast. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to put them one at shooting guard and one at small forward by my preference and what I've seen a lot of YouTubers and 2K players do the most common way. Now for slasher, I'm going to be saying the best slasher position you can pick is shooting guard because you're a lot more agile. And yeah, you are going to be a strong, agile dunking machine with an insanely large contact dunk. But you're going to want to be able to move down the floor to get those alley-oops, those contact dunks, and speed boost by a lot of these people. Now, I'm going to say that make the slasher 6'8", similar to how a lot of the small forwards go, but you're going to be a lot quicker than the small forwards. That's what I'm basing it on, the pure speed, because you want a slasher to be fast. You want to make that boy 6'8", so that standing dunk will become nice, and that driving dunk will also increase. The wingspan is also kind of weird. A lot of people like a shorter wingspan for a slasher. I never even heard of a slasher who have a short wingspan, but a lot of people like to have a little bit more of a jump shot on their slasher, so they have a shorter wingspan. But every single 2K player I've known has put a max wingspan on their slasher to get those crazy dunk animations like my 6'7" playmaker, who is actually pretty insane. Not to brag, but yeah, you want to max out that wingspan as much as possible. And guess what? We're going to make that shoulder width maxed out to a 23.4. This is not getting repetitive. So first, what you want to make your lockdown defender is 6'10", which will increase those dunking stats you really need inside to make yourself a lot better. Rebounding stats will also be increased because when you're a lockdown defender, that's 6'10", that's a small forward. You're going to be able to guard almost every single position on that court. You're going to be able to guard centers. You're going to be able to guard power forwards, small forwards, shooting guards, and point guards because you're going to be that quick. It says you remove a little bit of lateral quickness, a little bit of speed, but it's not going to matter because you're not going to be guarding point guards that are going to speed boost past you because you're going to have the Hall of Fame defensive stopper, and you're going to have all these really good defensive badges. They really will also significantly help you in those games. Now, probably one of the most important things to make your lockdown defender have is a maxed out wingspan at 91.6. You will get insanely, yes, I'm back to saying this word again, insanely large amount of steals and blocks, and it makes your player a lot better, and it makes up for those little losses in lateral quickness because you're that much harder to stop, and players won't go past you. You will not get past. All right, everybody will get stopped by you and your Hall of Fame defensive stopper badge, Hall of Fame pickpocket, and you will just get an insanely large amount of cookies. Now for your weight, you're going to lose a little bit of strength because what you're going to do is you're going to actually lower that to its least, lowest weight possible. So that's going to give you a higher speed, acceleration, higher vertical, higher speed with ball, and a higher lateral quickness, which is very important for your lockdown defender. You would have to be able to move quickly laterally. The contact dunk, the strength, and the box out, the decrease is not important because you're going to have maxed out strength anyway, so it's not going to be that big of a difference. And who guessed it? Yeah, you're going to max out your shoulder width, of course. Now, one of the most underrated positions in NBA 2K17 and archetypes is the power forward post scorer, which is extremely dominant. If you played any 2K game, you know that post scorers, especially with these new Hall of Fame badges, are extremely overpowered. And if you know how to play in the post, you're an extremely good 2K player. And you can be able to use these post scorers to their fullest potential, with not a lot of people can do. Now, for the height, you're going to make it 6'11", because if you try to make it 7 foot, you'll decrease a lot of stats more than it should be decreased. So what you're going to do is make that 6'11", because that will really kind of balance everything out. You'll have a lot better of stats, and your decreases won't even out as much as if you had a 7 foot post scorer. Now, wingspan, in my opinion, I would keep it short, because you're just more of an offensive threat, and you want to have a bit more of a mid-range and a higher strength. Because strength is very important for a post scorer. If you have no strength and you're a post scorer, you're not a post scorer. You're just somebody who can play in the post. You're not a post scorer. You're just someone who can play in the post and cannot back down anybody for the life of them. Shoulder width is also a max too, if you guys didn't guess already. By the end of this video, every single thing will be shoulder width max.
So now we have the 7 foot power forward, aka the 7 foot stretch.
Height's an obvious one. You're obviously going to max it out to 7 foot. Unlike the post scorer, the 7 foot power forward is allowed, because you're not going to be doing that much besides shooting and dunking in the paint. With twos, it helps up a lot. Getting bruiser strength up. That's kind of stuff is what you want. You kind of really don't need the speed or the driving layup and all those aspects. Now, next, what you're going to do is try to max out your wingspan, because what you're going to be doing is trying to grab boards against a lot bigger and stronger glass cleaners, even post scorers and athletic finishers, as well as other centers that are lockdown defenders. And they're going to be able to kind of grab boards over you. So you kind of want to be able to max out that wingspan so you have a chance against those players, and archetypes, and able to grab boards.
Now for the weight, you want to make it 315 pounds. And yeah, you also want to make that shoulder width maxed out.
Next archetype we got is the glass cleaner, one of the most dominant centers in the game. Most likely this is the best center build you can get in NBA 2K17, and I'm going to teach you how to make that center build right now. Now, if you're going to be a snag god, you obviously have to be 7'3", have a higher standing dunk, a higher contact dunk, definitely a higher box out rebound, offensive rebound, and block. Obviously, since this build is built around grabbing rebounds, you're going to want to max out that wingspan, because you're not going to need the shooting stats really that much, because really your primary goal is to grab as many rebounds as possible. If you're open for a dunk, dunk that. If you're left a little bit wide open, you can take a shot. You could, but this build is not for shooting. It's more of a grabbing boards, dunking on people, and a very good twos center build. So yeah, if you really want to look to run twos people and you don't really have that many people to run with, this center build is for you. Now, obviously, like the other big man build, we're going to be maxing out that center to a 336-pound weight, getting that contact dunk, that strength, and yeah.
The box out will increase as well, and we're going to also have a maxed wingspan on this player, as well as a maxed shoulder width. Now guys, I'm sorry I haven't been able to do the athletic finisher or the defensive stopper, because they were such similar positions to what the other archetypes were. I thought they weren't as used as a lot of the glass cleaners. I know I used the post scorer, and those are very underrated, and that's why I included in this video. Guys, if you want to see videos on them, leave a comment and like, and tell me that you want to see ones of them and the ones that I've missed. So guys, thank you for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Peace.